Okay, so it's been a while since I've made a video that wasn't me just spazzing out on stage with a Game Boy. Um, so I figured I'd make some kind of video that would be interesting. I don't know, I get a lot of questions after my shows about, how do you make music on a Game Boy? Did you hack your Game Boy? I don't know how you hack a Game Boy. I don't know how to hack anything. So, what I have here is it's a cartridge that has a program on it called LSDJ. It's probably flipped around because of my webcam. I like to keep my cartridge in a case now. This cartridge is my first one, so it's really beat up, and it's usually good to keep them in a case, just because these aren't actual. It's not an actual Nintendo product. It's a crappy Chinese knockoff, but it's all we got. Uh, there's a USB port right here, and that allows me to flash onto the chips. You can't really see them very well. You can just see my background on my computer. There's some chips in here. I think they're SRAM that you can flash ROM data to, and the ROM data that I have is my licensed copy of LSDJ, Little Sound DJ. I think it's version 3.9.4. So what I do with this cartridge is I stick it in a Game Boy. I don't have a Game Boy at the ready because I'm going to do something else for you guys. I'm going to actually show you what happens and what I see on the Game Boy screen with one of my songs, and we'll play with it a little bit, and this will be fun. So here we go. Okay, so the first thing I'll do is I'll put my game into the Super Game Boy on my Super Nintendo. It's essentially a cartridge that allows me to play Game Boy games on my Nintendo. I'll boot it up real quick. Goes together first try. I'll put the volume at like 22. That might be a little better. Reposition my webcam. Okay, so you see that this is a screen. It's not a video game. It's a song screen that I see instead of a video game. And this is the LSDJ is kind of spread out over 4 channels. It's my Pulse 1, Pulse 2, Wave, and my Noise channel. This is just an early idea. I'm not gonna play this for you guys. What I'll do is I'll load a new song. I'll load my newest song. It's called Neon Night Riders. I have it saved as Turtle Sore. And there it goes. It loads, and you see there's a lot more on this screen. And you see all these numbers and letters and things, and people say, "What does that mean?" And it pretty much means that this is chain of phrases 1. So if I go over to the next screen for 0, 1, you see there's 3, 4, 5, and B. That doesn't mean anything. These are just my personal labels for what things are, and you can see that there's notes or little letters. And what this is, that's the note D in the 6th octave with my second instrument. And I'm not going to get into instruments because this isn't a tutorial. This is just for people who want to know how this is done. Because I get this question all the freaking time. So what I'll do is I'll mess with my wave channel. Let's open up the wave channel. What I did, you'll see right here, this is song. So I press select, and while holding select I press left on the D-pad. And that takes me into live mode. I write all of my stuff exclusively in live mode. I know people who write it in song mode, but I think that's just kind of lazy. But that's just my personal opinion. So here's my song Neon Night Riders, and I'll kind of narrate. So I have a bass drum and a bass instrument kind of going in here, and what I'll do next is I'll throw in my noise channel, which is white noise, for my drums. So you can kind of hear my white noise ticking. And now let's throw in some instruments. Let's throw in some high-pitched echo. That's cool. So now I can throw in a harmony. So that's really cool. That's fun. Let's change it. And all of these different things that I select are different patterns. So these different patterns have different notes that I've written in them. So let's do this. That's cool. That's fun. So let's throw this in. Yeah, that's fun. This is heavy. Do 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 do. And you can do all these different things with LSDJ. These are all sounds that I made myself, and these are all things that this is just a really fun and robust program. Think Fruity Loops for the Nintendo Game Boy. It's really awesome. And I can mute and solo on the fly, so... Okay, and that's just stupid and annoying. So yeah, that's how this program works, and this is how I make my music.